Now, I'd like to spend a few minutes talking about the genesis of the book and how this idea came about. And it goes all the way back to the 1970s when I developed an interest in finance and cost management. At that time, I had suggested an improvement for a project I was working on. We distributed the software product we developed on computer tape at the time. And of course, that was a fairly expensive medium. And given that our product worked on a very high-speed network, I had suggested that we could distribute the product without the tape, particularly for those who were getting upgrades and not first-time users. And I figured that it would save the company a lot of money. So I made that suggestion as part of a cost improvement program that we had, and I was turned down. And I couldn't understand why, and so I asked my manager, and my manager went to the product management department, and they said, "Well, the product that you're working on, we give away for free, and so we're not going to invest any money in it." So I thought, well, that was kind of curious because, hey, if it's free, you would want to reduce costs. So that was the time when I learned that we had a cost manager in our finance department, and he was very knowledgeable about how all the money of the company was spent. So I sat down and had a little bit of a chat with him, and I found out that almost three quarters of the company's revenue came from the communications that came through this product. And he used a term he called pull-through revenue. In other words, the product itself didn't make revenue, but it was bringing revenue into our other revenue generators as a result. So I went to my manager and described what I had learned, and he thought it was kind of ridiculous that they wouldn't accept this either. And so he went back to the product managers, and sure enough, I think they just were trying to fool the new guy. And as a result, though, the product was approved, and the cost manager I dealt with sparked an interest in finance, and he was also one of the trainers of our company auditors. And so during the 80s, although I had no budget, I was working with financial institutions. And he suggested I get trained as a company auditor, not because I wanted to become an auditor, but because it would help me better serve our clients. And so I signed up for that. During the 90s, that helped me because finally there was an emergency where management hadn't allocated any resources, people or otherwise, for an important project. And so I got to create a budget, set a budget, and I had a lot of knowledge to do that because of the training I'd received. And then at that point, after some time, I left the company, went and did a lot of PeopleSoft financials implementations. Sometimes I was just adding on scanning and viewing capabilities to financial products, but then I also worked on accounts payable, accounts receivable, general ledger type projects. In the 2000s, I got my MBA and minored in finance. And in 2003, I started teaching a class called Controlling Project Costs and Risks for UCSD Extended Studies. And in 2020, they asked me to split that course into two parts, and I had to double the content of both areas. So that was all the stuff that led up to thinking about the book. And when I had to split up the course, I found out that there really weren't textbooks on project cost management that were really comprehensible. A lot of them were accounting books. A lot of them were directed at specific industries like construction. There was not just a good general book on project cost management. So I began to work on the outline in 2021, and that that was where the book all started, and partnered with Inham to complete it.